Oh man, day 13 of the bootcamp, and check it out, got a haircut today. What do you guys think? That I asked my barber to leave it too long? I personally like this cut. It's looking pretty cool. I'm trying to grow it out at the top, but the sides always, gentlemen's gotta have some clean sides. So let me know what you guys think in the comment section down below. Yeah man, day 13 of the bootcamp, but today I want to talk about irrelevance. Now, don't get me wrong, I know that there's a lot of other traders out there, and I know there's a lot of trading styles out there, so I don't have to defend myself anymore. You guys know my heart. I don't always know what to do with my hands, but you guys know my heart, and you guys know my intent, and I've got no bad intent whatsoever. I'm going to speak from my experience, the trading strategies that I've used, that I was planning on using, and the trading strategies that I currently use. So I don't need you guys to run to your second favorite mentors. Listen, this is me winking my eye. That's what just happened. I'm winking my eye. If you go to your second favorite mentors or your second favorite traders, winking my eye again, I don't want you to go to them and tell them, hey, this dude is saying your strategy is not working, or your trading style is irrelevant. If you're gonna do that, I'm just gonna laugh, bro, because that's not my intent. I'm speaking out of personal experience, and I honestly just want you guys to be able to relate to my trading history and my trading journey in the past, and how I basically came up to what I'm trading today. But of course, before we do that, you guys know this, time for you to flip that mental switch, and you cannot do that without a little daily MC rant. And in today's rant, I want to talk about nothing in specific. I just want to explain the process of how your life is going to change, hopefully after this bootcamp, but how my life changed after I achieved profitability. I know there's a lot of you that can resonate with it. I don't know when you had your first job or when you received your first income. Something like that. The stage that I'm referring to is when you received your first payment, your actual money received into your bank account. Now that's a surreal feeling. We can all attest to that. You wanted to pay for everything with your friends, or maybe you were very stingy because you wanted to save everything up. I'm trying to refer to that immediate sense of dopamine hit that you got when that money hit your bank account. Now I want you to, if you haven't received that yet in trading, I need you guys to sit with me for a second, go make a cup of tea. We're going to talk about this for a second, and it's about to get real, man, because let's get straight into it. I remember, of course, everyone is on this high rise and constant chase for freedom in trading, and everybody wants to really just get at it, get that first payout, get that big payout, but they don't talk about the actual consistencies that you need to keep up as a trader. And I spoke to a friend yesterday, and for me, it's very different. And I know, contrary to popular belief, you look at all these influencers and it might seem like their life is reckless, driving around sports cars, going to clubs, doing whatever they want. Bro, if you thought that's me, you're making a big mistake. I'm the most boring dude that there is. I do my boxing, I do my gym, I spend time with family, I love fishing, I love riding dirt bike, I love hanging out with friends, but I don't go do lavish shit like this, bro. I said this recently in an interview, but I don't like wearing brand name clothes. I like to wear a black shirt, white shirt, sometimes green or khaki. That's me, bro, because I don't want to waste too much time thinking about what I'm going to wear the morning. I don't like that. That's just how I am, bro. I'd rather invest in properties, buy a piece of land, invest in startups, save up money for my kids. That's who I am as a trader, bro. But I'm very, very aggressive, and my type of spoiling myself is learning more and making more money in the market. I wouldn't say I'm stingy with keeping my money. Like, I'm saving now to buy a helicopter or maybe a family plane, something like that, and then also a bigger piece of land. That's what I'm doing. That's my flex. But you also will not see me flashing it around, because there's terms and conditions that comes with this. Nobody talks about you have to pay commissions to the broker, you have to look for the spreads, then after that you have to pay your taxes, bro. Don't forget about that. Now, I'm no financial advisor, but that's a big thing a lot of people forget, is they see that you making, let's say, 10,000 US, okay? You made 10K last month. I don't know how it works in every country, but you have to pay up a massive percentage up to that. You have to remember that when you file your taxes at the end of the business year, that needs to be accounted for. And nobody really thinks about that. They think it's all dollar bills and going to clubs and living this lavish lifestyle. If that's you right now, I don't know what to tell you, my brother. I know my ladies in here, you guys are focused. No disrespect, but bros, come on, get your shit together, man. Get in shape. Read your Bible. Get your shit in order. You know you can do this. You know you want to do this. You can get as drunk as you want. It will not fulfill you as much as being on routine, getting your life in order. Nothing fulfills you as much as that. Yeah, you might feel Superman. You might feel big and strong in the club, wearing nice tight shirts, even shorter pants just to flex those quads. But my bro, that's not it, man. That's not it, bro. I've been there. Now, I've never been a fan of short pants. I mean, I'm talking about those pants where you can just see the jock strap. I'm talking about that. I've never been a fan of that, but I've seen you guys doing that, man. And then the fanny packs. Come on, bro. What's going on? But anyway, I'm getting off track here. I want to talk about really just focusing on getting your life in order in the sense of after trading, because once again, nobody talks about this, man. You're in this constant chase for getting your first payout or passing a challenge. But I'm talking right now to the people who are so hungry, you can already envision it. Because remember, MC, I'm taking you step by step. We already passed the chapter where we spoke about envisioning it. And I'm going to show you a lot of cool tips and tricks that I know in the trading industry that if you follow it, man, you're going to kill it. But at the end of the day, I need to prepare you mentally for what's going to happen after the fact. Okay? So I spoke to a friend the other day and I told him one of my rules is I don't trade on a day where I feel like not trading. Even though there was a setup, like last week I missed out on 3 setups and I was super angry at myself. But at the end of the day, when something is going on in my friend's life, I'm not trading. When I haven't slept good the night, I'm not trading. When it's like my kid's birthday this week or something big happening, I'm not trading. I have to be mentally prepared for anything to happen in the market. That's just me, man. If you guys agree, if you guys disagree, let me know. But honestly, that's just me, and that's honestly what I feel has been working for me, and I wouldn't change a damn thing. And then after that, family, I want to take it a step further, okay? The more profits you make, the more expensive your toys are getting. Now, don't shake your head or don't look at me in that sense of voice. I know that's true, and you know that's true. The more money you make, the more you want to spend. Okay, your watches get more expensive, your clothes gets more expensive, you go on more expensive excursions. That happens because, of course, it's a monetary value that you place on things to receive that sense of dopamine hit. It's natural. And don't get me wrong, when you get your first payout, please go and spoil yourself. Go and do what you want, okay? But after that, you and I, we need to have a serious talk and you need to set up some schedule. Go and do some crazy shit, okay? You're going to fall in life. It's going to happen. Make sure that you stand back up, dust yourself off, and get back in the race, okay? Your own race. And by doing that, you need to set up a schedule to be able to consistently run and run farther than anybody can. So yeah, man, I'm getting off track here, but I really just need you guys to set up some sense of balanced lifestyle. And remember, your hobbies are going to get more expensive. And nobody talks about, like for example, let's say you bought a new sports car. This actually happened to me. And then I felt that sense of pressure. I felt pressured because I needed to up my lot size to be able to pay for the maintenance, to be able to save up for replacing the tires and then the service. It came with a service warranty. But in the back of my mind, I knew that I had those expenses coming up, you know? Or when I had to plan out my holidays to such a point where I can see in the back of my history, when I can backtrack my trading history, I can see the months where I had my best months or a little bit slower months, you know. It depends on the setups I got. So I know, for example, this is just an example. Let's say August is a slow month, you know. I know now my family and I, we can go away for the whole month of August because I know it's going to be a slow month. Yeah, I'll take my tablet with and my laptop and my phone to be ready to trade, but I don't need to be here in a cockpit. I don't need to be here because I can go and I can live my life because that's what trading pays for. So all of these things, man, you need to be prepared for all of it. Your life changes, you know. Your life drastically changes. It becomes the conversation with your wife or your husband. How many take profits did you hit this week? What's your RR? Because let's say, just for argumentative purposes, you put in $10 and your budget by the end of this month is to make $30. You need to be able to plan out your risk to reward ratio, how many trades you take per risk to reward ratio, because this is just a fun fact. By hitting a 1 to 8 risk to reward on one trade is exactly the same as hitting 4 1 to 2 RRs, you know. In case you didn't know, it's exactly the same. So the amount of times you trade doesn't really matter. You have to take everything into consideration. So yeah, man, I honestly hope that you guys are prepared for it. It's really been real for me to adapt my lifestyle in accordance to trading and how much I make, how much I lose, how much I'm prepared to lose. It's part of these discussions that we need to make, because everybody is like all of hyping each other up. Yeah, we're gonna buy Lambos, we're gonna do this, we're gonna do that. Nobody talks about the amount of time I could not ride with to go and pick my kids up at school, you know, because I was in a trade and I could not put my full attention and my full focus to my kids, and I could not provide full attention to my trading. So of course, at the same breath, I knew, hey, listen, MC, stop being like this. You are able to take your kids to school. You're able to have a car. You're able to do what you love, you know? So at the end of the day, it's these thoughts that we need to be prepared with. So get out of trying to get out of the rat race. You're out of the rat race already. Your mind is just stuck in the rat race. Get your mind out of that prison, folks. Get your mind out of there and already start thinking about these things. This goes hand in hand with manifestation. This goes hand in hand with envisioning where you want to be. A bit contrary to what I was just speaking about, but today I want to talk about irrelevance in trading. And man, I don't like making it sound like I have an ego. That's not what I ever want to do, but I know what I'm talking about. Let me just show you. I don't want to be that guy that talks the talk. I want to be the guy that walks the walk, backed by talking the talk. So yeah, this is just one of my my journaling templates that I use. Let me just zoom out for you. And I want to show you, honestly, this is just one way of trading combined with one exit method. I want to show you that I'm not just talking because I like it. I want to show you that I'm talking because I've been testing these things. I've been back testing it. I've been running through some tests. And if that's not enough, this is the profit that I made in this week, $71,000. And then this month, I mean, what more can I say, folks? I don't like making it sound like I have an ego. But of course, I also don't want you guys to sit here trying to pay attention to someone who doesn't know what he's talking about. I've been here, I've been there, I've been where you're at, and I know the feeling. You don't want to listen to somebody else once again because you might feel like you're going to waste some time. You just want to get into it and start making money. But you cannot do that if you don't get the basics right and if you don't understand my method to my madness. You need to understand why I'm doing certain things. So without further ado, man, let's get into a chart. And the first thing I want to talk about for me, once again, I don't want you guys to be sensitive about this, please, but I also need to get this out. So don't go now and pulling the feathers out of the chicken and then just running with the story. That's not what I mean. My intention here is good. So this is my trading experience. The first thing I want to talk about is trend lines, okay? I feel trend lines in the industry is very relevant in my trading strategy, I can say. And that's only because you get a lot of different levels in the trading industry, right? You get horizontal levels. Whoops, let me clear that up. You get horizontal levels, you get diagonal levels, you get vertical levels. But let's backtrack it a bit. Why, MC, why do we use levels? And it's very easy, okay? We know Forex, foreign exchange, is from trading. It's from currency or countries trading with currencies because it is from demand and supply, okay? We know it's a demand and supply curve. How does a demand and supply curve look? It's got a y-axis and it's got an x-axis, okay? So that's why we indicate horizontal levels or vertical levels or even diagonal levels. Now, I'm not saying, once again, don't run with this. I'm not saying you're trading demand and supply. In essence, that's what's going on in the back office in the Forex industry. Commodities, stock, whatever it is, the more interest there is, the higher things going to rise. The less interest there is, it's going to fall, you know. But in trading, we come up with other terms such as aggressive buyers, aggressive sellers, and you carry more inventory. As a buyer, you grab your piece of inventory, you hold it until you're satisfied, and then you let it go. Okay, that's sort of more or less what is going on in the trading industry. If you don't understand what I'm talking about, I'm going to drop a link in the description for the free course. I explain it out there, but for now, let's just get into the irrelevance part. So that is why we can look at different levels, because we want to see the price, which is here on the right axis, right over here. Forget about candlesticks. Forget about it. Man, this looks terrible. No, forget about candlesticks for a minute, okay? Remember, you're trading a price. You're buying at a price and you're selling at a price. Your job is to try and understand what's the best price to buy at, what's the best price to exit out with profit, or what's the best price to get out and cut your losses. That's it. That's all you need to do. All of these other things is just extra add-ons for you, but don't overthink it. You're here to make money. You need to spend money to make money. Unfortunately, I'm referring to depositing $100 to be able to make shit ton of dollars. Okay? I don't know. But at the end of the day, you use these tools in your advantage to be able to utilize the price movements. That is it, folks. Stop overthinking this, okay? That's it. So that is why we use horizontal levels, vertical levels, diagonal levels. Now, once again, I'm not saying they do not work. I'm saying they are irrelevant for me. And the reason being is because I read every single book there is for trend lines, okay? The problem I have with trend lines, I have three. Number one is it does not happen a lot, okay? And if it happens a lot, it brings me to point number two. Point number two is it's very subjective, meaning trend line will work if. The trend line will fail when. It's very subjective towards market movement that already happened. And if you don't know this yet, I know everybody wants to get in with sniper entries or get in at the exact same price. My bro, you're never going to get in at the exact same price. I know you might want to sound like that. You might want to sound cool, but it's not going to happen because the market's already delayed. You're getting delayed data feed, okay? Because we're trading CFDs. I don't want to get into that today. That's a whole can of worms. And it's not in my diet right now to open can of worms. You figure that out. I'm not going to talk about that today because it's going to probably break the internet. I really don't want to talk about that. But at the end of the day, I don't use trend lines because one, it doesn't happen a lot. Two, it's very subjective. And three, you never know when to exit, okay? Entering is super easy. Anybody can do it, 50% chance, okay? It's the fact that where can we exit? Because you need to know where to exit. Because is $1,000 good enough for you? Is $2,000 good enough for you? $3,000? What about $50,000? Okay, is losing $1,000 good enough for you because you made 50K? Or losing $50,000 because you made 2K? You know, when are you going to call it quits? That's why nobody succeeds, because nobody knows when to get out. Plain and simple. So that's why I do not like trend lines. Yeah, it might look pretty in hindsight, drawing your 1, 2, 3 touches, you know, because we got 1 touch, 2 touch, and then 3 touches. And I traded like this for a long time. I would take the trend line bounce with the counter trend line break. So the minute it broke, I would enter. And yeah, it might work right now. But once again, where do you exit? Then you might come up with the answer, hey MC, you can exit at horizontal levels. And then I'm like, okay, if you can exit at the horizontal levels, what's stopping you from entering at the horizontal levels? You need to have the same thing that you use to enter, needs to be the same thing you use to exit, because, just hear me out, because at the end of the day, you're going to be like, maybe my entry is wrong. That's why I lost money. Or maybe my exit is wrong. That's why I lost money, you know. You're going to be in a constant battle between yourself because you do not know your apples from your pears. You do not know which is what that made you lose money, which is what that made you make money. So at the end of the day, Trend lines are beautiful, man. They look cool, they look pretty. It looks like you got your shit in order in the markets. But look at this. We're saying 1 touch, 2 touch, 3 touch buy, 3 touch sell with confluence, right? But then you get a trend line trader that will say, oh no, it broke here, and it retested, then it came back down. Okay, where do you exit then? You know? Where do you exit? And at this point, you'll be like, no, this is too steep of a trend line. And then my friend back home would say, no, it's not. You took the same trade last week, and it was in fact steeper than this one. And then you'll be like, oh man, what's going on? Am I gambling? This is too subjective. What's happening? And then you're opening up another can of worms, and you'll be like, okay, these trend lines are happening too much. Maybe I should take the lesser ones. Okay, which one are the lesser ones? Can you guys understand why it's an iffy subject to have? But carrying on, I can talk about trend lines until tomorrow morning, and I know some of you wish I would, but let's all go on to the next topic. And the next topic I want to talk about is smart money concepts. I don't want to talk about this, but we got to address this issue, guys. I'm going to address it by asking you a question. And I really need you to think about this, okay? Let's think about a bank, okay? You're working at a bank, because that's what smart money concepts is, eh? I'm the dumb money, you're the smart money. Apparently, that's how it goes. Shit, if I'm the dumb money, bro, then I don't even want to know how smart money looks like. But let's have this conversation. You're a bank. You have billions of dollars in your portfolio asset available. I'm not talking about you as a person, I'm talking about the whole group of the bank. Do you honestly think, do you feel sexy thinking about the fact that you are a bank with worth of billions of dollars, and you're gonna care about where my stop loss is if I'm dumb money? Do you honestly think that? Let's take it a step further. If you are a bank, we already discussed, you're not going to care about me. Do you honestly think that you are not going to be able to develop a better way of trading than looking at candlesticks? Do you honestly think they're going to hire somebody to sit the whole day and just look at candlesticks? Hey bro, I'm going to pay you 200,000 US a month. I just need you to look at these candlesticks, use your order blocks, use your fair value gaps, and understand where Peter from Jamaica, where he put his stop loss. If you believe that, then I've got nothing more to say to you. Honestly. This is the funniest thing. Like if I see a party is dead, if I'm at a party or I'm at a gathering with friends and I see the party is not going anywhere, I crack a joke by using SMC concepts. That's what I do. And no disrespect whatsoever. But folks, it doesn't make sense. I'm not saying the concepts doesn't work. I'm just saying it was rebranded to sound like a fool, because you do not trade like a bank. If you're trading SMC, you're trading level 1 data, okay? You get 3 levels of data, sometimes even 4. We cannot access 3 and 4. We can only access 2. Level 1 data is what you see right now. Level 2 data is what the banks see. They see sometimes even level 3. We cannot see level 3. Level 2 data is what you see on the futures exchange. We are trading CFDs, contract for differences. You have to, somebody in the party, it's me and the broker, me, market maker, me and you, whatever it is, somebody has to lose before somebody can win. Okay? I'm trying my best here, just listen to me. Somebody has to lose for somebody to win. That's in the standard contract procedure. So it means a contract for difference. So I get paid the difference if I'm winning. Now with a futures exchange, the orders goes through a futures exchange, goes through a futures floor. It gets regulated. That's the best way I can explain it. So if it's contract for difference, I'm trading with a broker, you trading with another broker, Peter in Jamaica is trading with another broker. There is no pool. There's no liquidity pool. Some of these brokers are not regulated. You know this yourself. Now, I'm not saying that's a bad thing. All I'm saying is, if they're not regulated, how can we see your orders? How can we know where orders are? How can we know where majority of orders are? Do you seriously think a bank is going to sit and say, oh, yeah, fair value gap, that wick is not there? Do you seriously think that? Then I'm going to ask you another question. You will see on TradingView you have Ohanda, you have FXCM, you have currency.com. Why is it sometimes that the wick is on different places? Or one candle has a wick or another candle doesn't have a wick? Is it a fair value gap or not? You know, is it an order block or not? What's going to happen? With level 2 data, you see the bid and ask price and you see the time and sales. You can see where the orders are placed, but that opens another world for you. I do not want you to go and look into that because it's going to confuse you after this video. But you will get spoofing or iceberg orders. That's when you have buy limit orders, sell limit orders, aggressive buying, aggressive selling. They will place the order there for you to run to that order because you think some big whale sold there. And then before you tap there, they will hit that level and then grab it up higher. That's what they do. And once again, they don't care about me wanting to grab that order. They care about inventory. Okay, I'm a bank right now. Yesterday I was you were not me. I'm a bank right now. Okay, I grabbed 1,000 inventory, 2,000 inventory. Let's wait for a better price. Okay, let's grab 3,000 inventories. Let's wait for a better price. Okay, let's grab 5,000 inventories. That's how they work. They do not, okay, yeah, let's go grab Peter's stop loss. Oh yeah, shit, he's down bad. Let's go grab Jessica's stop loss. Oh yeah, bye-bye Jessica. Let's go grab Felicia's stop loss. Bye, Felicia. No, it doesn't work like that, bro. So I need you guys to really pay attention to that. Okay, so without further ado, man, there's so many concepts that I think is irrelevant. And at the end of the day, you need to ask yourself, is what MC is saying true or not? And I'm going to take it a step further. Challenge me. Challenge me. Go and look up what I'm saying if it's true. If not, call me out on my bullshit. Tell me, MC, you are wrong, okay? Then I'll be happy to admit that I'm wrong, but I know I'm not wrong because I'm passionate for this, okay? I'm passionate for this and I need you guys to see why. I need you guys to see what is working. With that being said, there's so many things that's irrelevant in this trading industry, folks. So many things, but I'm not going to be that guy that hates on somebody else. If somebody hates me and my trading style, I'm going to have massive love for that person. I'm not going to care. I'm going to keep doing my thing. So without further ado, man, in the next video, I'm going to show you guys the importance. Today we talked about irrelevance. Tomorrow, we're going to talk about importance. I'm going to show you guys some of the concepts that I use, why they work, and why I believe in them. I love you guys. Stay safe. Stay blessed. MC out.